That makes sense, right? Like, Bentley, why you gotta scratch the door right when I hop on here? It's
What's
raining
up,
outside.
Bentley?
You don't want to go outside. It's raining. He's looking at me like, yeah, I want to go outside. I'm going to open up the door, and he's not even going to let me go outside. What's going on, guys? Welcome on into Fantasy Intervention. We are live. We are live. We are live. Oh, yeah, I've been live for about 20 seconds while I'm talking to Bentley. But anyways, I want to give a huge shout out because we have a special guest in here with Mike and I. What's going on, Mike? How you doing?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Doing very, very well. But yeah, we have a special guest. Mike, do you want to introduce him? Do you want to go ahead and introduce our special guest?
Oh, man. Dude, I love the special guest because usually I have to be the smartest one on this show. But luckily today we have Jacob Vines, the Dynasty expert. I have been following this man for a while. He is an absolute genius. I follow all his recommendations, and now he is live with us tonight to answer your questions instead of listening to my hot takes and Chase's, buffoonery. So we actually have someone really smart in the room today. What's up, Jacob? How you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm good. Y'all are way too kind. I'm just having fun with this like the rest of us.
Now, I hear that, man. I'm actually excited for tonight's episode. Of course, we had the shit show last week with Dynasty Trades HQ. And mess of a podcast that was, although it was a lot of fun. It was probably one of my favorite podcasts I've ever done. But yeah, tonight we actually have some intelligence in the room with Jacob. So yeah, Jacob, go ahead and tell everybody, where to find you, where we should look out for you, and how you're qualified to give everybody fantasy football advice.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at jsnake_DFF. That's just, you can DM me there, at me on Twitter. Super active on Twitter. I'm also a writer and Superflex ranker for Dynasty Nerds. Host of my own podcast called Snake in the Draft Podcast. Also just recently went over and joined the Superflex Super Show and Superflex Pod. So that's some recent news for me. And I won my work league last year. We'll say that's why I'm qualified right there. I won my work league. There we go.
Fire.
I'll take that. Hey, winning a work league is a big deal, man.
It was, especially because last year I got beat bad being the first seed, and the person had Derrick Henry on his 50-point game in the week 14, and I was just depressed. It was not good.
Oh, that's a bummer. Dude, I hate those work leagues where you dominate the entire year and then last minute, you end up getting beat in the finals because you played Mike Boone or something like that. Oh, God, that's the worst, man. That's the absolute worst.
Dude, I showed up for my work league this year and literally wildly unprepared, so I make my draft and everything like that. And all of a sudden, I put in my lineup, and I got 74 points predicted for Josh Allen. I'm like, what kind of voodoo shit is this? They have 6-point passing touchdowns. It's 9 points if you do something unusual. So that's a running touchdown for a quarterback or a wide receiver, and a receiving touchdown for a running back. And here I am with Derrick Henry catching nothing. I'm like, you got to be shitting me. I would have went Kamara, but so I started the season with Dak and Josh Allen as my quarterbacks, and I'm lighting the world on fire. And now I am just taking a beating from somebody who I think just picked by jersey number every week, and I'm getting my ass kicked. So I think that's kind of where we're at now.
So real quick, guys, I do want to let everybody know we are going to get these questions answered. I saw a Facebook user did ask a question. We're going to get to that. And of course, we have Dave over there blowing up, talking shit to Jake, of course. So
right.
before we get started and let everybody know exactly, what we're going to be going through this episode with Mike, Jake, do you have anything to say back to Dave?
Just get ready to lose this week. It's in the Twitter Hitters League, and I have Devontae Adams, who's just been going off on a regular basis, and he just needs to get ready to accept defeat.
Accept defeat, Dave.
You will die.
You will perish. All right, Daddy's home. Mike, what's going on, man? Let us know what to expect from the show, and then we'll go ahead and answer the first question to get this episode kicked off.
You don't want to ask about my night?
I asked you about your night when we first came in. I said, how are you doing tonight? And you answered.
I was good. No, I was elbow deep in toilet water all day. I'll tell you about that later, though. So anyway, on today's show, yeah, it happens. On today's show,
what, 2 weeks or a month ago? Go ahead.
We're going to recap our week 9 call.
Wait. No, I'm just kidding.
On tonight's episode, we will be recapping our Week 9 calls. We will give you some post-waiver wire ads dumpster diving on the trending down section of Sleeper. We will give you the flex matchups with great plays and then starts and sits outside the consensus top 20 quarterbacks and running backs, or top 20 running backs and wide receivers, or top 15 quarterbacks and tight ends, unless you were Jacob, in which case you decide to go with the top 14 to give yourself an advantage. That's what we'll be covering on today's show, plus all of your questions. We love the live chat, so keep them coming, and I will stay here all night until we answer every single one of them. So why don't we go ahead and get started? What do you think, guys?
Let's do it. Let's go ahead and start with a question, and we'll go into the first section of this, all right? So we have Facebook user over there, right? He's got Aaron Jones, Deontay Johnson. Hey, we got a correct spelling of Deontay Johnson, unlike Sunday morning. I swear to God. So we had literally, I want to say close to 7 to 10 Deontay Johnson questions, and every single Deontay was spelled differently. It was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. So yeah, we have Aaron Jones and Deontay Johnson for Swift and A-Rob. Since you did not specify Dynasty, I'm going to guess this is redraft because it's coming from Facebook anyways. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with Jacob. Jacob, let's go ahead and hear what you have to say. I know you're Dynasty, but you know.
I love me a good redraft. I'm definitely on the Aaron Jones side. You know, you want those beast running backs on your teams as much as you can. Swift is someone that has potential to rise, but he also could be just that steady guy that's, scoring you about 12. I'm going to assume this is PPR as well, about 12-ish PPR points. Well, Aaron Jones can blow up and get you 30 or 40. He's the type of running back I want in redraft. And Deontay Johnson, I think he's going to be fine. He's going to, do well. And I do like A-Rob, but he's not a difference maker for me versus Aaron Jones.
He's not a difference maker. What? That dude catches pass after pass. Doesn't matter who's at the quarterback position.
I mean, that's true, but we're talking about Aaron Jones. Like I get that we like Allen Robinson, but he's not going to be that guy that can just explode every other week, or something like that, because he doesn't have the quarterback play. He's going to play well. He's going to do fine, but he's not going to be the guy that can explode like Aaron Jones can. And also the position scarcity in general. Running backs are so much harder to get right now.
Bro, once A.J. Dillon comes back from COVID.
Keep dreaming right there. I think A.J. Dillon may be a decent stash, but it just keeps looking worse and worse for him. Same with Jordan Love, for both of them.
All right, Mike, what do you got on this?
I'm going to go ahead and agree and take Aaron Jones. I would take Aaron Jones straight up for Swift and A-Rob. DeAndre Swift is my fantasy soulmate, as we covered on Monday night. Love the guy, but Aaron Jones is a difference maker. Allen Robinson has Nick Foles as his quarterback. You're right. He's going to get you the PPR points, but he's not going to have those explosion weeks that Aaron Jones is going to have. I hope if you make this trade, you have someone better than Deontay Johnson. The Pittsburgh wide receivers have become the Rams backfield, where if you guess right, you're going to have a nice game, but guessing right has been almost impossible. And Deontay Johnson will come off the field, if I'm not mistaken, with hurt feelings, a hangnail, and potentially the sniffles, because the guy can't make it through. I don't know what keeps bringing him out of the game, but he can't play a full game. When he's healthy is the term I love that fantasy analysts use for players that can't stay healthy and don't actually do their job, and that's Deontay Johnson. So I'm hoping you have someone better to plug in your starting lineup, because he has a significant decrease from Allen Robinson, but not nearly as much as what you're gaining going from DeAndre Swift to Aaron Jones.
I'm going to be on God, I can't be on the other side of this. Yeah, I got to take Aaron Jones, but it's close for me. I can understand if you need a wide receiver, like if you're wide receiver desperate and you have, 2, maybe you need 3, meanwhile your backups are set, then I would actually be okay with trading away Aaron Jones in order to increase your productivity from the wide receiver position. That's about the only reason why. All right, Mike, let's go ahead and kick this episode off. We are going to get to the rest of y'all's questions. We are definitely going to answer those. But Mike, go ahead and kick us off for this episode, because if you don't kick us off, I don't know if we'll ever get started.
Absolutely. So why don't we go ahead into our recap for our Week 9 calls, where we cover our good and our bad. We want to be fully transparent with you, let you know what you're getting into when you listen to us tonight. So let's talk about good for 2 weeks.
Don't tell him. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
For 2 weeks in a row, we have crushed the quarterback position. If I'm not mistaken, we go outside of the top 15 quarterbacks, and in 2 weeks, we have given you 3 touchdowns over and over again. We had Drew Lock, who went up for over 300 yards. We had Kirk Cousins, who threw for 3 touchdowns. If you played those 2 guys as your streaming quarterbacks, you are extremely happy. I also told you, let's run that stack back with Mr. Irv Smith Jr. He didn't do much. But what he did was catch his 2 passes in the end zone, and you got to love that, double digits from the tight end. We told you to pick up Aguilar. I hope you did that. We told you to play Marvin Jones. I hope you did that. We were double digits across the board. Now, of course, there's always mistakes. There are always mistakes. Oh, man. I mean, you hate to see somebody on the show telling you that Hollywood Brown was a good play. I'm not. See, the thing is, we're family here, so I'm not going to say who said it because that would be
jokers during the segment. Okay, so I'm watching Joe up here slip on the grease.
So the best thing that Hollywood Brown did for me was he gave me a fire tweet of making fun of everybody who put him on the block after that game, as if their league mates don't have TVs or Twitter. That thing went on fire, but he's just garbage at football. I gave you Devin Singletary, and I'll tell you what. Let me tell you where the mistake was, because I think it's good to own it. I didn't expect Seattle to get stomped like that. I expect the game strip to go to a lot more of the dump-off passes. I didn't expect to see a lot of Zach Moss because I expected Seattle to come out swinging. However, if you listen to me on Game Day Live on Sunday morning, I also told you that Josh Allen was the number 2 quarterback last week. Hope you paid attention there. Darnell Mooney, let's face it, the kid is a stud. His quarterback is a dud, so that's going to happen. And then everybody, let's just all take this from the entire fantasy world.
What happened?
What happened with the last one or with Darnell Mooney? You want to go
this upcoming one?
Oh, okay. Well, the whole fantasy industry can take a drink for Chase Edmonds.
Oh, pour one out.
So my favorite thing about fantasy is that we are all convinced, whether it's Ben Tate, whether it's Chase Edmonds, we're convinced that these backup running backs are studs that are just waiting for their opportunity. He got his opportunity, not a stud, just another guy. Amazingly, I never thought I'd say I'm happy Kenyon Drake is coming back, but it looks like he's going to this week with a nice cakewalk matchup. But yeah, Chase Edmonds, absolute bomb there.
Yeah, and honestly, I wasn't that high on Chase Edmonds overall because he is the pass-catching back, and he will always be a pass-catching back. He's never going to be a bell cow. He'll have his blow-up games, of course, just like he did last year. But, no, I mean, it's a good 1-2 punch up until Aaron Jones ends up in Arizona. And then, we can just kiss goodbye to both those guys. So, it is what it is.
Oh, still riding that take, huh?
I'm not going to stop riding.
I'd even say we're sort of sleeping on the Dolphins defense as well, man. They've been elite the last 3 to 4 weeks.
They're great. They really are. All right. So real quick, guys, before we jump in, I do want to answer a few of these questions. So we're going to fire through 5 of these questions because we do have so many coming up.
Yep.
But before we do dive into these questions, I want to let you all know that we actually have a new sponsor for the show. And of course, sponsors are important because if we don't have sponsors, guys, then guess what? We don't have a show. So we do have Thrive Fantasy coming on board with us, right? ThriveFantasy.com. Come #prop up on Thrive Fantasy this season. Thrive Fantasy, guys, by the way, is a daily sports app for player props. What you do is you end up picking 10 different, props that you like out of one matchup. And there's 20 available options. You pick your 10 favorite ones, you put them in your lineup. The person that ends up finishing with the best overall, selection ends up winning money. And it's not some cheap change, right? There's some actually big time significant games. Anyways, if you guys go and you guys like player prop bets, this is the perfect site for you. And guess what? If you guys use promo code CIRCLE when you sign up, once again, that's promo code CIRCLE when you sign up, you'll actually receive an instant match bonus of up to $50. Now, it's between 20 and 50. So if you put in 20, you get $40, right? If you put in 50, you get $100. Just use thrivefantasy.com. Promo code CIRCLE when you guys sign up. That's, of course, for join our circle. Once again, that's promo code CIRCLE. ThriveFantasy.com. Sign up and prop up today. Is that good? You guys like that one? Is that on point?
Sound professional. Yeah, you stammered last time. That was pretty solid.
No, last time was good. The time which are you talking about today?
No, I'm talking about the last time that we did it together. Yeah, you had some trouble. There was some stuttering. That was solid though. Professional. I like it.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So let's go ahead and answer a couple of these user questions real quick, or user questions. our listener questions real quick.
Jay.
Let me go ahead and figure out where we're at. We just did the Aaron Jones one. So we got our Facebook user. Henderson is on my waivers. My options to drop him are Chase Claypool, Antonio Brown, DJ Moore, or could I drop my kicker and figure out next week what to do about it? Thoughts?
I mean, if he's saying he has 2 kickers, I'd drop the kicker and figure it out. The receiver part's a little bit tougher.
I wouldn't drop any of those. Actually, I might drop Antonio Brown just because I'm kind of over the whole, shtick, I guess. But if you can drop a kicker, drop a kicker. If not, drop Antonio Brown. That's my take.
Yeah,
Mike, you got a different take?
No, I agree. Drop the kicker, but Antonio Brown's the one that has to go eventually.
All right, 0.5 PPR. My record is 7-2. I have Wilson and Cooper. Should I trade for Lamar and Tyreek? My wide receivers are Adams, Rager, and Myers. I don't understand why you would.
No, don't do that. Tyreek Hill's an upgrade from Cooper, no doubt, but not a big enough one to drop from Wilson to Lamar. Keep what you got.
Yeah, I mean, Tyreek Hill is so boomer bust, too. So you're 7-2. Why would you move off that?
Tyreek Hill's got 10 touchdowns, though. I mean, the kid's having a year.
No, I don't agree. I don't disagree with that. All right. I have Aaron Jones and Kareem Hunt. I just traded Gibson and Gus Edwards. Mm-hmm. Have Murray, Michael Thomas, Ridley. Is Zeke worth the flex or stash on the bench? Jake, what you got?
I would start Zeke over Murray and Gus Edwards. I think Gibson gets more interesting. I would probably start Gibson. Well, he's a little banged up right now, so that sort of makes him a little bit more of a question mark. But, I think overall I'd still probably be starting Zeke. It does depend on how many starting spots you have. Because if you're in a league that does the typical, start 7, then a defense and a kicker, I could see a reason to bench Zeke with how he's been struggling the last 3-4 weeks. But in general, I think with the workload he's been getting, because he's still getting 18, 19 carries, he gets a touchdown, everybody's outlook on him would be different.
Is Chubb back this week?
Yeah.
Should be.
I'd probably Zeke over Chubb or over Kareem Hunt.
No, not against Houston. They get the Texans this week.
Yeah, that's fine. They're going to run the ball the entire time. Why would the Browns pass?
I still think Hunt will get some carries.
Yeah, but you're talking on the range, what, 7 to 10?
Yeah, he's still
going to get 15 plus carries.
Can I use the Zeke question? Because I'm going to do a victory lap because I love doing these, especially when something comes up. So I benched Zeke last week for Aguilar and Jacoby Myers in Fishbowl, and that felt damn good. I'm not a big Zeke guy this year. I would, Ridley's still questionable. You might get out of this without having to make a decision. But, yeah, I'd stick with Zeke.
One more, and then let's dive into this show.
Herbert. Let's move on.
Herbert Wentz this week?
Yeah, we don't do Herbert slander on this show. It's Herbert.
All right, let's do it. Mike, let's kick us off. Let's do this shit. Let's kick off the actual show itself.
All right.
We're on a 20-minute prep.
So we have people that have been dropped you should give a look to. I'm going to give you the 3 names. We're going to go through them quick, then give you a couple injury returns. First one we have on the list is JaMychal Hasty. Everybody dropped Hasty because old tired legs was gassed up after a week off. But what's next for him? The last time he went off, he had to be rested the next week, and we weren't told about it ahead of time. This backfield is ugly, but it's as clear as mud. And this kid's going to get an opportunity again, whether it comes from injury, whether it comes from tired legs, whatever it is. I know people are worried about Mostert coming back. This is still an aging running back coming back from a high ankle sprain. I'm not ready to give up on Hasty yet.
It's tough for me. I think that Mostert comes back strong, but I can understand a post waiver wire ad. With these post waiver wire ads, by the way, guys, these are guys who are just sitting out there. So if you have an open spot at the back of your rosters, right, on the side of your bench, you pick them up if they have that upside, right?
Yeah, these are your deep roster flyer guys that are just sitting out there. These aren't your run-of-the-mill, as Chase said yesterday, the 30 guys that somebody's listing in their article that you should be paying fab for. This is legitimately you were hammered Tuesday night, you forgot to put in your picks, and someone might be sitting out there who might touch the football. If you're going to go ahead and post on Twitter that I love JaMychal Hasty, that is an automatic block. We know how we do it here, but we like him enough to put him on the end of the bench. Next one, actually. Good.
I was just going to say real quick that I agree with that in that, you want those running backs on the San Francisco 49ers. You don't want to, that's the offense you want, especially with it being Mullins right now. It's going to be even more run heavy.
Absolutely. So this next one, I don't know what everyone's thinking, but Tony Pollard was dropped. And I get it. Zeke is healthy. By the way, for the last question, Zeke's on bye, so don't play him this week. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. We're idiots.
Yeah, don't play him on the bye. He's not that good.
I was sitting there thinking about it. I was like, who do they play this week? I was seriously sitting there, questioned in my head, trying to come up with a disagreement for you, trying to think of, who they're playing. It's like, who the fuck do they play this week? I haven't gone over it.
Yeah, they're playing Call of Duty this week. So basically, Pollard gets dropped for two reasons. Zeke is healthy, and they're on bye week. But if you watch the game against a very tough defense, Pollard really played great against Pittsburgh. 57 yards. That's a reason to add him. These short-sighted decisions, and I'm getting a lot of these questions in my DMs too. Mike, what should I do? I have someone in the bye week. For F's sake, stop playing for week 10 and start playing for the damn championship. Get somebody in your lineup for this week if you have to, but get the guys on your roster that are going to play week 14, 15, and 16. And if you don't think you're going to be playing week 14, 15, and 16, get another hobby because it's too damn early to give up now. So get Pollard back on your lineup. Any questions on Pollard? Don't start him, Nookster. I'm by like Zeke.
Oh, man. So I'm sitting there, right? And I'm looking through my leagues, and I'm like, who's getting dropped in these leagues? So I was trying to find a guy, right? And all of a sudden, I saw Bryan Edwards get dropped. Not just once, but in 4 of my leagues across the board. I'm in 28 leagues, probably 15 are Dynasty, so I'd say 13 of them. Nobody got dropped in Dynasty, but in redraft, out of the 13 leagues I'm in, 4 people dropped Bryan Edwards because not only has he been hurt, but then he comes back and he puts up, goose egg. And that's understandable. They had him on a snap count and whatnot. But I don't read you guys off the schedule because this is a guy that if he gets dropped, I am most likely going to end up, grabbing him before he ends up hitting, next week's waivers. So he has Denver this week, right? Which is understandable. They're not great, but also at the same time, they're not bad. So he could end up having a touchdown with 40 yards, which, by the way, is going to be worth a pickup. Kansas City's tough, though, so maybe he doesn't. But then you have Atlanta, New Jersey, Indianapolis, the Chargers, Miami to finish it out. Bryan Edwards could finish out this season like a stud, man. Are you guys somebody that wants to stash Edwards for the remainder part of the season, or are you off Edwards completely?
I mean, I'm personally pretty off of him, but that's also my leagues aren't super deep for my redraft league, so it's only a 5 or 6 bench, and I think in those you can get better options than Edwards. But if you're in a league that has maybe up to 18 to 20 roster spots, I can definitely see an argument for it. Or if you just have a bunch, you're just set up, your starting roster is awesome, and then your bench is a bunch of fodder, sure, throw them on there. Why not?
That's a big portion to these post waiver wire ads is, stashing somebody that hasn't been doing well, but has a chance to actually go off, within a certain amount of time. So if you're in a position where you're, I don't know, you have your 2 wins above 500 type thing, and you have a solid roster, this guy could take you on to the next step and make you compete with first place.
All right, so let me give you 2 names, one that I would take him over and one that I wouldn't, to kind of give you an idea of where I have him in the redraft space. I would absolutely, as Jacob said, if I have my starting lineup in place, I would rather have Bryan Edwards than Marvin Jones Jr. on my bench, without question. However, if we're talking about people that are probably sitting out there, if I'm going to take a big swing, I'll take a swing on Deebo Samuel before I'll take a swing on Bryan Edwards. So that's kind of where I fit them in the rest of the season category, because I think a lot of people are falling on Deebo not being healthy. I'd rather go flyer on Deebo than Edwards, but I'd absolutely like him over Marvin Jones. That's kind of where I have him fitting.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, same.
Cool. All right, so last one on the list we have is Justin Jackson. Again, this week he is getting rested. It looks like he's not going to play again. But this is a kid who stepped up, and I still think he has a role even when Eckler comes back. I think Joshua Kelly apparently kicked Anthony Lynn's dog or something because he has no business being on the field anymore. But I think at this point, Jackson's a guy that I wouldn't be ditching, regardless of the injury, regardless of Eckler coming back, which I believe is slated for next week or the week after. I still think Justin Jackson's a good end of the bench stash, just because I'm no doctor, but my understanding is there's a high probability of recurrence with Eckler's injury as well when he comes back.
I love that. With Justin Jackson, that's part of the reason I like Troy Pope this week as a potential, like, if you really need someone in the flex, I think he could be a decent guy, especially in deeper dynasty leagues. But yeah, I think Justin Jackson is the running back 2 with Eckler being there. And Eckler, like, the coach literally said, like, he's like, it's going to be longer than shorter. I don't remember the exact terms, but like that could be 2 weeks, that could be 3, 4. We don't really know. So yeah, I like
sooner
that.
Rather than later, or later rather than sooner is what he said.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yep. All right. And then just to close out this segment, I have 2 injury returns. The first one is Alshon Jeffrey. Looks like he's good to go. I'm not sure if he was still hurt or if there's some kind of NFL rule where him and Deshaun Jackson cannot be on the field at the same time. So now that D-Jax is out, Alshon's spot is open like a parking space, I guess.
I'm so tired of hearing that, though.
I not hear what? Alshon's back?
Yeah.
Oh, it's garbage. I'm not picking him up. But the guy I am picking up. Are you ready for this? This is fucking awesome.
I missed it. Who do you have?
Antonio Gibson has a shoulder injury. Antonio Gibson has shoulder injury. So you know what that means? It is motherfucking Bryce Love season, baby. Bryce Love is back in practice. He ran for 17,000 yards in college in half a season. He has been training with a bull on his back, doing lines of coke, getting ready to roll for this exact moment. And Ron Rivera loves him. Bryce Love is going to go for 475 yards this week. Book it.
I think you forgot J.D. McKissick
400
on that team.
Yeah, J.D. McKissick will carry out his shoulder pads, and we'll watch him go off in the way that Joggin Riggins used to in the 80s for the Redskins. This is going to be magical. Bryce Love is back, baby.
Oh, God, I can't with you guys, man. I can't, it's going to be Peyton Barber. You know, that's who it's going to be. Might as well name all 3.
I don't know if I can say on this podcast now, mentioning Peyton Barber now. Oh, God. Of course, I'm mentioning Caleb Balazs.
Oh, Caleb Balazs. I victory
21 yards.
The Jordan Howard.
Caleb Balazs last week. Who didn't? No,
I victory lapped him. I had tweets from October saying by him. I had tweets from August for Caleb Balazs. Actually, I'm a sarcastic prick. Please do not pick up Bryce Love. There is somebody on Facebook who is telling you he's practicing, and they're quoting college stats from like 3 knee replacements ago. Don't pick him up. He's garbage. Anyway, let's get some questions going.
Jonnu or Fant, man? So I'm guessing this is this week, maybe? Or is this the rest of the season? Because we don't know, guys. If you're going to ask a question, give us some damn context.
It's Fant,
right, we don't know what you're thinking.
Matter? Does it matter? Unless Fant isn't playing.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wait, I think it can be
Did
John.
all your lights go out at your house, Mike? You're really you're like Lord of the Sith right now.
Oh, what the hell just happened? No, my lights are on. My lights are on.
There you go.
It was probably all the Bryce Love, like just radiating off of me, making the electricity flicker. I get excited.
Oh, God. No, so I like Johnny more, but ever since Luan got hurt, Johnny's been blocking a lot more on passing downs. I actually came across the stat today where Anthony Firsker, he's only blocked on 1 passing down so far this season. That's it. Meanwhile, you're dealing with Johnny blocking on 4 or 5. So it makes it a little bit difficult with him actually getting volume, but he still is getting the high end, premium targets over there with Jonnu. But I think it's Fant at this point in time, up until they can show that they can block without Jonnu being in the lineup. Excuse me, I stumbled through that like it was doing a pre-show read.
I mean, I think Fant versus the Las Vegas Raiders, that is a pretty decent matchup right there. I still think Jonnu can surprise this week. A lot of people have said, the Colts are the worst matchup. And I do know this because I had my pick before as Jonnu as my guy to be a top 12 tight end, and then I changed it. So everybody get ready. It's going to be coming later. It's in the same game, actually. But with Jonnu, like the Colts, they haven't really faced any good tight ends, and the best one they face is Hawk, and he was tight end 4 that week. Like, I mean, they placed the Eiferts and Sample and stuff like that. That, I mean, I think that he's probably not going to have as good of a game as Noah Fant, but I still think he'll have a pretty good game and could potentially be top 12, top 8 tight end.
Yeah, they actually held Hawk to 7 catches for like 65 yards. So even he didn't do anything. And by the way, he also has not allowed the Colts have not allowed a touchdown to the tight end.
That's still like 9 half PPR points though. That's pretty decent for a tight end this year.
Yeah, it's good.
No, it's great. But I mean, that's it's Hawk. It's Hawk. It's the Hawk vibes. It's that giant Hawk
Dynasty tight end 2, TJ Hawkinson.
All right, traded Antonio Gibson, Shark for Miles Sanders, Cook and Henry are my other RBs. Half PPR. What are the thoughts?
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on board for this. Although I do love Antonio Gibson, I like Miles Sanders a lot more. I'll take that. That's cool.
Yeah, Gibson. You hope Gibson becomes Miles Sanders, so you just traded him for hope Gibson for guaranteed Sanders. I like it.
All right. By the way, Aaron Jones makes Dingus explode.
Not much.
Good to know,
Dingus. Not much doesn't.
Except for trying to swim through a whole pile of snow in just board shorts like he did today, or maybe that was just boxers. Who knows? God, man, how cold is your dick, Dingus?
You've talked about Dingus. We lost like 15 viewers.
I know. I just saw that. That's crazy. All right, let's get back to the show after this question, guys. We're getting back to the show. Do not leave.
No.
Should I trade Jacobs for A-Rob? Desperately need a good wide receiver. I'm pretty solid at RB.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't, but he's desperate, so maybe you should.
I mean, for me, it's what is solid at RB mean? If that means you have two solid guys, that's not really solid. I'd rather have the 3 RBs and have someone like Jacoby Myers that I'm playing instead of trading for Allen Robinson.
Yeah, I'm just not a Jacobs guy. Though is my problem. So I agree with you. I just think that Jacobs is kind of trash, and I'm going to go A-Rob just because I like him, and I think Jacobs has become that 60-yard rushing touchdown dependent running back. That's what scares me, is that you paid way too much for Jacobs this year if you have him on your team.
All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the next segment, because this is where we're going to have our disagreement.
All right, let's talk about the flex plays who have great matchups in week 10 coming out of the gate. Whoever is starting for Arizona against the Buffalo Bills. Drake is currently day-to-day as he was last week when he ultimately didn't play, so watch the injury report, but get that starter in your lineup. There's a weak Buffalo defense who have given up an average of 101 yards and a touchdown a game on the season, including a rushing touchdown in all but one game, and the only running back who has not scored against the Buffalo Bills is the trash bag we just talked about 2 seconds ago, Josh Jacobs. Everybody else has found pay dirt against these Buffalo Bills, so play your Cardinals running backs.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that one. That one was the easy one. I got some disagreements coming up here. What do you say? Are you playing the Cardinals running backs up against Buffalo, Jake?
Sure. I mean, I think those guys are someone that you'll want to put in your flex versus other people, especially with like the Chiefs on bye this week, the Falcons on bye. There's not very many good options.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Makes sense. All right, let's do this because we already know we're going to get into a disagreement on this. These are going to factor in to our bet tonight. And
okay.
I'm just saying we're going to get into some disagreement. So let's do this.
Let's do this. So if you have the best rookie wide receiver, you play him. That's what you do. What you do is you take the best rookie wide receiver in this class, which has produced some studs. You have CeeDee Lamb. You have Justin Jefferson. I mean, you have some good plays there. You have Brandon Ayuk if he stops making out with Kendrick Bourne. But what you don't have is the stud, the man himself, T. Higgins is absolutely who I'm smashing into my lineups this week. I love me some T. Higgins. Love him. Pittsburgh gives up the 6th most points to opposing wide receivers. I expect the rookie to see another 6 to 8 targets. And you know what he does when he sees 6 to 8 targets, Jason Jacobs? You know what T. Higgins does when he sees 6 to 8 targets? He scores double digits every single time. I love this guy. Get T. Higgins in your lineup.
You always love that guy. Every week. Every week, that's all I hear is Higgins. Whispering into my ear.
It's called loyalty, Chase. We're in love.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's worked out since week 3, to be honest.
And with Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh, oh, man, they're terrible on the outside, right? Wrong. You beat Mike Hilton in the slot into a bloody pulp. You just beat the slot. You beat the slot. So guess what? I don't even like Tyler Boyd. But Tyler Boyd is going to be the one that's eating 100% this week. We're going to be talking about 10 targets minimum to Tyler Boyd. Meanwhile, Higgins will be sitting out there like, hey, what do I do? Because I can't beat these guys because I'm a rookie and Joe Hayden's a veteran and I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do.
Joe Hayden. You're going to bust out Joe Hayden like we're playing 2015 fantasy football.
Hey, that don't matter because he's still producing. He's still one of the top corners this year.
Who else you got? You got Deion Sanders coming out there. What else?
Hey,
we got?
Dude,
when
you have one of the top producing corners, right? When you have one of the top producing corners, you don't fade them. It doesn't matter how old they are. We're not playing dynasty football, Mike.
Just wait till the end of the game when Joe Hayden is asking T. Higgins for his uniform. Because you know what? He saw the back of it and he sees how pretty it is. Because Higgins is going for 80 and a touch.
You know what's going to be pretty is because Higgins isn't going to get it touched because he's not going to get a target. So he's going to be on his feet the whole time. He's never going to get tackled.
I feel like, the thing I think is you're trying to set up a bet of Tyler Boyd. You're pulling the Jacob where you're just picking people out of the top of the rankings, which I'm not allowed to do. And you're going to try to make that
This is a flex. We're talking about flex options.
And Tyler Boyd's a flex? Tyler Boyd's a flex?
Absolutely.
Are you sure?
I don't own him in any league. I'll just put it. That's how much I hate Tyler Boyd. So I don't even know where he's ranked. But he would be a flex if I had to guess.
Let's see where he's at here. Number 14 on ESPN rankings. That is actually almost a wide receiver 1. But no, that's cool. I'll tell you what. Why don't you take Tyler Boyd, and I will go ahead and take Devontae Adams. Let's put it on the board. Jacob,
what? Devontae Adams is the top 3 wide receiver. Get the fuck out of here.
No, for breaking the rules, fuck it. I'm going big.
No, whoa. This is a flex, okay? I'm just talking shit.
Wide receiver 14 is not a flex. It's a starter. It's a flex in a one wide receiver league. Jacob, you want to help me out here?
If you go wide receiver heavy, not if you're a zero RB truther. Not if you're zero RB. Then Tyler Boyd is the flex.
If he's your 4th round pick, right? He's a flex. 4 wide receivers straight. I think both can play well. I do see arguments on both sides, but I mean, if we look week to week, they both have just been, doing double-digit fantasy points week after week after week. Burrow's been playing well. I don't really see a reason for it to stop. And then I also saw it was Pauly Sleepers did a post about looking like Mixon may miss another week. So if that happens, wheels up for both of them.
Hell yeah.
They're trying to keep him healthy, man. They're trying to make sure that he can actually stay, in with the Bengals for multiple years to come, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know that that's true or not, but they kind of see it as a lost season and a season for Joe Burrow to develop. So I'm assuming they're doing it to try and keep him healthy long term, but we'll see what happens.
Can I just make a point that's probably going to anger some people?
Oh God,
they're better off with Gio Bernard than Joe Mixon this week anyway. So,
we just lost 30 listeners.
That's okay. They can be wrong. Last one on the list is Travis Fulgham. Giants just got torched by the Washington football team. That is still hard to read in acronyms and not swear. Last week, Fulgham got him for 5 for 73 3 weeks back. The kid's for real and a solid play. I don't care that Jeffrey's back. I don't care that Rager's back. Fulgham's going to get his against the Giants this week.
So in this one, I actually have Rager, and I hate Rager. I've got Rager and I've got Tyler Boyd, and I hate both of them.
All right, this one we can take. I will give you Fulgham and Rager.
Well, no, this is how it works, right? So I'm taking a guy that's not even existent on the rankings, right? So I'm taking Fulgham. I mean, I'm taking Rager. And you got Fulgham, and I love Fulgham, but Bradbury didn't shadow him last time they played. He shadowed Sean Jackson, and then he went to zone after Sean Jackson got hurt. This week, I think he's going to shadow. So I'm going to take Rager, and I'm going to take Boyd, and you get Higgins and Fulgham.
Deal.
The total point difference. Now, Jacob, did you think of a bet?
I didn't think of a bet that just related to y'all two. I was more just thinking about myself. If we wanted to see who had the most for the people inside the top 12.
I like it.
Because I have my own little personal bet is that if I'm the lowest, I would eat a pickle because I fucking hate pickles and I think they're the worst invention ever. And you'll probably just lost 30 to 3,000 people that like pickles, and you can no get out of here. I have Scott Fish on my side, so I know I'm right.
You're right. You do have Scott Fish. I mean, you're not right, but you do have Scott Fish. Yeah.
Who hates them more? Because I don't think Scott Fish would ever make that bet.
Scott is more vocal. I'm not really scared about not being right on this. So that's probably the main reason, right?
Go big or go home.
Right? No.
All right. Well, let's talk about things. Man, what can we do? What can we do?
Think about it. While we think about it, let's go ahead and answer some of these user questions so we can knock these out. Let's do quick fire.
Yep.
All right. Update on Eckler. We already talked about it, so that's quick fire question enough.
Yep. 11 or 12. Christian Kirk.
Corey Davis. I like Corey Davis this week.
Christian Kirk.
All right. Solid analysis all around. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Dave.
And
Appreciate you, Dave.
all right. Lost McCaffrey this week. Kenyon Drake, if he plays, or JD McKissick, PPR league, Kenyon Drake.
McKissick, PPR. Come on, man.
McKissick, PPR.
Nope. Oh, we already got this one, but I just want to repeat it. Chase is a stud. Thank you very much, my friend.
No, he means Chase Edmonds, you arrogant prick.
I don't care. He said Chase is a stud. He said Chase is a stud. What's up,
Christian? I love you. Don't ever put Chase as a stud without the last name again, buddy.
Chase is a stud. Just want to repeat this. Chase is a stud. All right. What is up with Hunt after Chubb comes back?
Hunt stock goes up.
Yeah.
Hunt is better with Chubb in the game.
RB2, I'd say.
Yep.
Yeah, high end RB2. Or mid RB2. All right. Let's see. Would you keep Derrick Henry? What?
Yes.
Would you
absolutely.
keep Derrick Henry? Yes, I would keep Derrick Henry.
I would keep Derrick Henry on a one running back team with just one pick.
I'm getting him a stud. Meanwhile, Mike's out there killing people.
Sorry, Dave. Love you, buddy.
Killing people. Jacob Spears is sexy as fuck. So we're all getting shout outs. Mike's killing people. I'm a stud, and Jacob Spears is sexy as fuck.
Hey, I will say, we were talking about bets. I said beards off limits. Don't even talk about it. So
yeah.
Do you believe in soulmates, Jacob?
Do I believe in soulmates? Yeah.
Jacob, who's your fantasy soulmate? The one guy you can't live without.
Soulmate? I'm gonna have to go with right now. It has to be Irv Smith Jr. It has to be Irv Smith.
I like that. He is smooth.
Yeah, it's Irv Smith. Yeah.
That's a good one.
He needs to get more receptions. I'm fine with the touchdowns, but he needs a little bit more receptions for my liking.
All right, what is going on? I have no clue.
We're just talking into it. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I have Lamar, Michael Thomas, AJ Brown, Gurley, Eckler, Montgomery. Throw him in the trash. Jonnu. Kittle and Odell killed me. What, did they kill you for real? Because why are you typing? Would you trade or relax for the playoffs?
Just relax. Do some drugs. It'll be fine. Yeah, whatever.
All right. One more, and then we're going to go ahead and go to our next segment. Ready?
Let's do it.
Chase is a stud.
Come on, Dave.
Get that. I have control too, Bob's backing you up, Jacob.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it.
Gary's got your back.
There we go. Let's get pickle haters unite.
Oh God, I can't. All right, so go ahead. Let's get us started on the next segment.
The next segment is let's talk about guys outside the top 20 running back and wide receiver, top 15 quarterback and tight end who have a chance to finish the top 12 in their position and why. You ready?
No.
Are you ready? Because my first one. Teddy Bridgewater, currently sitting at quarterback 23 on your ESPN consensus rankings. Tampa has been exposed through the air lately, giving up 8 touchdowns in their past 3 games. I know what you're thinking. I look at the overall Tampa passing numbers and think, wow, I don't want to play against them. But other than one game where they shut down Aaron Rodgers, who is trash at least 4 games out of the year, they've only stopped dump truck Driscoll and Foles. Even Danny Dimes put up 2 touchdowns against them. Now, all I'm going to ask,
Driscoll, are you taking Linda's
that's Linda gives me my nicknames. I bow to the queen. However, what I'm
Can you explain to the people that don't know what dump truck means?
Jeff Driscoll has one of the nicest asses in human history. It is large, it is round, it is solid. Like you look like you bounce quarters off it and call heads or tails. Like it's beautiful. So dump truck Driscoll, he backs it up like the beep, 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 so people know that ass is coming. It is spectacular. So dump truck Driscoll and Foles, the only people that haven't put up points against this defense. I'm going with Teddy B, but please, Teddy, listen, I picked you this week. I picked you, so I'm going to make a plea because I know you're a fan. I know you're watching. Throw the fucking ball to DJ Moore, for Christ's sake. You're killing me. Throw the ball to fucking Moore. I'm tired of this Curtis Samuel shit. Give DJ Moore the ball. He is a yak monster. He is your stud. Stop it. Just stop it and give the ball to Moore. Thank you. Love you, buddy.
We know it's Robbie Anderson's season, though, so I don't
It's
know.
not supposed to be. He's going to do something wrong, like insult the police officer again and say mean things about his wife, and then it's going to be DJ Moore's season. If you don't know that story, look it up. It's weird.
I saw, the altercation that was posted on Twitter. Y'all see that? Looked like there was some rough Photoshop there, but I don't know. It
Oh
looks
yeah,
questionable.
yeah. Troy apparently put up some stuff about DJ Moore and Teddy Bridgewater that got awkward. Yeah.
It was Troy. Yes.
All right, who do we got? Jacob, who do you got?
My guy, Ryan Tannehill. He's currently at number 19 on ESPN. So, the Colts, they have the fewest points given to the quarterback position. Honestly, it's like every position they have the fewest, but really, like their talent that they face has not been great. Like they faced Kirk Cousins when he had negative fantasy points, which as a QB is like super difficult actually. Like if you get negative fantasy points, you really sucked. Like it's not pretty. Like Scott Fishbowl, I think he had like negative 55 or something crazy. But anyways, also they faced Sam Darnold and Nick Foles, like not great options. Sure, the Colts, they held QBs like Burrow and Lamar Jackson under 20 fantasy points. But, both QBs were pretty close to QB 12. I do expect A.J. Brown and Jonnu Smith to have a good game this week and to help Tannehill be a QB 1. Also, the Colts, they have been a tough team against the run. So I think the Titans will need to pass the ball to get the lead and maintain it. And I mean, my pick for tight ends was going to be Jonnu Smith until I was told that he was tight end 14. But Jonnu Smith, I think you should start him this week, especially if you don't have any better tight ends, or if you had Kelsey as your tight end.
Love it.
Yeah. So typically I try to stay away from Thursday night because I don't know if I can actually get the stuff in, but I love this take because of the fact that Derrick Henry should not be able to run at all. So they're going to have to pass. They're going to have to pass a lot. I love this take. And honestly, like almost every single take that I wanted was from this game because this game is going to be a lot juicier than what people are actually, realizing. So I love that view. Now, for my take, I have to add in something that I've been keeping in the background over here, right? Let's go ahead. Can I actually bring that full screen? Cool. Because I got something to show you guys, all right? Let's see. The guy that I'm picking, right? He's a major influence to the community. And, we were talking about Dump Truck Driscoll, right? And his ass. But there's something that's more impressive than Driscoll's ass. All right, let's go ahead. Can you guys hear this?
Mm-hmm.
Drew Lock has a horse cock.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get this shit. Let's go.
Oh, we're doing it one more time. Drew Lock has a horse cock.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get this shit. Let's go.
That's right, guys. I am doubling up. On Drew Lock and his horse cock this week.
Well, that is just inappropriate.
It's Drew Lock has a horse cock. You haven't heard this? It's huge on Reddit. It's huge on Twitter. Are you not a part of Twitter? I thought you were a part of Twitter, Mike.
I follow Linda, so I know about horse cock lock, glory holes Foles, dump truck Driscoll. Yes, I understand.
What about 9-inch Nick? I mean, I know it's the same thing as Glory Hole Foles.
As the listener number goes down and down.
Drew Lock is a horse cock. Let's go, guys. All right, so here's the deal, right? With Drew Lock, he's going to be up against the the Raiders this week. And the Raiders time and time again have literally just let quarterbacks throw all over them, guys. Like I'm talking about just massive points over the past, I believe it's 4 weeks where they've allowed multiple touchdowns or 300 yards. In the past 3 weeks, or the past 3 games, I should say, I believe it's over 300 yards passing and multiple touchdowns, including one game where they allowed 4 touchdowns. I think that Drew Lock has, this fire in him in the fourth quarter, and the fourth quarter alone, where he just, fires off. And honestly, I feel like it's a big week. Plus, the Raiders, they struggle up against the tight end position. We already talked about Noah Fant. So yeah, I feel like Drew Lock is just going to have this connection, like this weird connection with Fant, and their just connection as to where we could actually see some major, production just shoot off, just go everywhere, That makes sense.
Yeah, that connection, right? Yeah.
The connection.
Okay. All right, so now is a good time to remind people. We do on Fantasy Intervention about, 10 podcasts a week now?
Something like that.
9 of them are stat-based, very professional, very detailed. And then there's Wednesday. So we did get a review on iTunes that had stated that our X-rated humor may possibly alienate our female viewers and possibly some of our male viewers. That is what I'd heard. And what I wanted to say was to everybody who is easily offended, this show probably isn't for you. Now, we have other ones that will very much fit your needs and your desires. However, Wednesdays, we fucking get down and we party. So I apologize to anybody who shows up expecting a stat-based detailed analysis. This is where you get horsecock lock and glory hole fulls. And I'm not even going to apologize for it. You know why? Because this is what the listeners want. This is what they fucking show up for. And this is how we party. So Tuesdays, Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, even Sunday game day is for you. All live stats. But on Wednesdays, we get down and we party. So let's do this shit.
I had no idea that's how much I give a fuck about what people think. Like, that's how much I care.
Here we go.
The fact that we got how many stars is that? Like, did we get at least like 1 star for that?
No,
one?
we got 2. We got 2 because we do seem like good people.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we seem like good people. We just don't need to do X-rated humor. And what's funny is what I wanted to respond with was honestly what I'm very proud of. I say some shit, as you know, a few times, right, Chase? I've said some shit. Jacob, you know this. You follow me. Occasionally, stuff comes out. And I was told that I alienate females. For a fantasy podcast, my followers are about 20% female, which is fucking spectacular. And I love you. I love the ladies. I love every one of you that's involved. I try to support the shit out of you because you guys are fucking awesome. And if I've ever alienated you, let me know. But otherwise, let's keep partying because I'm going to be me. That's how we do things around here. But Wednesdays, we fucking party and we always have fun. So hopefully you guys dig it. And if you don't, check out Tuesdays or Mondays where Chase drops some sick stats. And Jacob is always on fire with the stats if that's what you're looking for. And
by the way, we have one of the biggest female influenced teams when it comes to actual companies inside of fantasy football, believe it or not. So we're right around 20% to our female, our female, I guess, not employees, but team members in comparison to most people. Yeah. Oh, we have one female on our team just to make us look cool. No, that's not our case. Like we don't care. Black, white, female, male, it really doesn't matter to us. Like we're equal opportunity and honestly, it's something where we're all having fun. So if we felt like we were offending anybody, sorry, but we're here to have a good time, especially on Wednesday nights. We're here to make people feel good. We're here to make people laugh.
Hell
this is something where we have fun, guys.
Hell yeah.
Anger.
I love you, Gary. Just wanted to pop that up there. All right, running back. So I was going back and forth on running back, and I follow this guy on Twitter who is fucking genius. And I listen to him, and I read his shit, and I say, well, if a genius is going to say that I should pick this guy up, I'm going to pick him up. I'm going to play him. That's Troy Pope. And that genius is on the show today. So I picked up Troy Pope because against Miami's run defense, who's 23rd against opposing running backs. Jackson is sitting according to Anthony Lynn. And Pope put up big boy numbers against the Broncos 2 weeks ago, going for 95 scrimmage yards and just 15 touches. But what I want to do in this particular instance is let Jacob tell you why Troy Pope is one hell of a running back.
I mean, I think for me, it's really just he had the workload and he was the RB2 back in week 8. He had 10 carries for 67 yards, 7 targets, 5 receptions, 28 yards right there. So that's 14.5 PPR points. I mean, shoot, let's have some stats right now. And then like week 9, we had the Balaj takeover, which made sense whenever, Justin Jackson was a late or a very, I guess it was a late early game scratch, but with it, it's looking like Justin Jackson's not going to play. They are going against the Dolphins, which, that could potentially be a little bit worrisome because I did mention, the Dolphins have been a really great defense. But in general, Justin Herbert being at the helm, if Troy Pope is going to be the starter on that team, like I'm not going to start Troy Pope if Justin Jackson is going to be playing. But if he's not, I'm like wheels up for Troy Pope. I'm excited for him to play. I'll be starting him in my dynasty leagues. I think in deeper redraft leagues, he should be rostered 100%. Or if you just need that flex start, get him in there.
I'll take it.
So if Troy Pope's top 12, I get credit for that too, right? Is that how this works?
No, that one's
Dang
fine.
it. All right. I like mine better anyways, so that's fine.
All right. Who you got, Jacob? Who do you got?
All right, guy I've been talking up a couple of times, J.D. McKissick, ESPN running back 22. So McKissick is a baller in PPR leagues. Just last week, McKissick had 9 receptions on 14 targets to make him the running back 3. That's running back 3 on the week. Also, and that was without a touchdown also. That was just he got so many passes. he was like a receiver out there. Also, Gibson's banged up with a shoulder, so McKissick could see even more work. No, not Bryce Love season. We already talked about that. It's not happening. McKissick is also in a favorable matchup against the Lions, who've given up the most fantasy points to the running back position. McKissick is a solid flex start this week with his massive upside. And, he could be a check down monster for Alex Smith. Like, go put McKissick in your lineup, especially if Gibson's out. I'd even be tempted if Gibson's playing, because McKissick with the PPR upside, it's just crazy. He could be the RB6, RB3 again.
I'm just gonna go Patterson, Cordella Patterson, against Minnesota, because fuck Montgomery. That's all I gotta say.
It's Ryan Nall season, Chase. Come on.
I actually love Ryan Nall. So Ryan Nall is 6'2", 6'2", 234 pounds, I believe. His speed score is excellent. His agility score is even better. He's literally like a mini Peyton Hillis, and I don't understand. So he's had.
You had to pick a white running back to compare him to. Did you?
I didn't even know Ryan Nall was white when I was actually comparing him, to be honest. And then I saw the picture, and I'm like, great, he is actually Peyton Hillis. I swear to God, I was comparing their stats, and I'm like, okay, damn it, he is actually Peyton Hillis.
I'm gonna pop this up there while you talk.
Oh my God! All right, so no, wait,
hold on,
what are you putting up there?
There's a follow-up.
I mean, I need some more information, Adam. Are we talking the mock where I'm trying to remember that you picked like a quarterback like Matt Ryan before like Russell Wilson or something as well? I think was that mock, maybe.
Damn.
I'm not sure though, Adam. You could definitely correct me though, because my memory isn't that great. Adam understands. He went through PT school. I'm going through PT school right now. I can't even think straight right now.
So anybody who can't see it, at Real Adam H, who you can catch on Sundays, I believe, with us. Is that right? Chasey's on our Sunday show.
Sunday mornings, 11:30.
Jacob once made fun of me for drafting McKissick in a mock. Who is laughing now? Is the comment from Adam for anyone who can't see that.
All right, so real quick, guys. When it comes to Ryan Nall, he's like 234 pounds, 6'2", something along those lines. Better agility, like we said, than Peyton Hillis. He's pretty much a Peyton Hillis type player. He has like 29 or 36 carries on the season. I want to say it's 29. I'm sorry, 29 snaps or 36 offensive snaps on the season so far. Meanwhile, he has like 7 passes caught. Don't quote me on like these numbers, but it's right in that area. He has like 7 or 9 passes caught. Meanwhile, he has 0 carries. It's like, why are you using this guy? You have 0 carries. And this dude is built like a freaking brick wall. He's built like a bulldozer. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't know if I trust Matt Nagy to give it to Ryan Nall, who is the perfect running back for not having an offensive line, yet has never given him the ball in the backfield. Not one time. I don't understand it, guys. But yeah, I would pick Ryan Nall, except for it's probably going to be I don't know, Cordell Patterson trying to run it between the center and the guard the entire game for some ridiculous reason.
All right, let's move on to wide receivers. And I picked this one for a lot of reasons. Number one is I wanted to bring up my hot take from August. We were asked to bring up hot takes, and what I said was that Joe Mixon would not be a top 15 running back, but you know who would be a top 15 wide receiver? My choice this week, Brandon Cooks. And we are on our way to that bet paying out. Cleveland is the 5th worst D against opposing wide receivers, and Brandon Cooks is the number 1 in Houston. He has 39. I want to say it again, 39 targets in the last 4 games, being ranked at wide receiver 21. For what reason? This kid is a stud. He is every bit the number 1 on a high-flying offense. This is embarrassing. I will pick him every time he's outside the top 20 till ESPN gets their shit together, because this is a man, and he's putting up big numbers.
Because this is a man.
Good call.
Yeah, good call. So real quick before we go through our wide receivers, right? Because I definitely want to talk about ours. And by the way, I love that pick. That's something we don't disagree on. I think that was an excellent pick. When I saw it, I was like, wait, he's outside the top 21 this week? I was like a little bit, baffled to an extent. But pick 2, PPR league, Tyler Lockett, Justin Jackson, and Will Fuller. We don't know about
Jackson.
Yeah, we don't think Justin Jackson's going to play. So Tyler Lockett and Will Fuller. And then we'll do this one. Then we'll hop back to this question. Alvin Kamara. Or Aaron Jones, PPR.
Don't need to finish it. Come on.
Aaron Jones.
Ooh.
Spicy.
I'm going to go the
Okay.
running back 2 from last year. Thanks.
All right, one more. Who would win this trade? Diggs, Boyd Carson, for Michael Thomas, and I'm guessing that's Riley Ridley, right? I'm
It
seeing
better
Calvin
be.
Ridley and Josh Jacobs.
No, it has to be Riley Ridley for this to be even. Jesus.
That's why I said it at first, but yeah, that doesn't
Jesus, right.
If this is redraft, I don't think it's actually that far off. If you're thinking, Diggs has been getting the targets. He's like one of the number one targeted receivers. Boyd's been surprising. Chase, you mentioned how you weren't a fan of Boyd. I'm not. I haven't been a fan of Boyd, but he's been dominating. And Chris Carson can come back and easily outproduce Josh Jacobs. So, I mean, I can see the argument against that side because I just don't think it's as far away. I would take MT though.
Wait. You think that Chris Carson could be an RB1? Because Josh Jacobs is like RB10 right now.
He's already done it though. Yeah, Chris Carson is.
So let me tell you why I take the far side, because I am a wheeler dealer, and I think you could flip those pieces for pieces you might like more, specifically Josh Jacobs. So I think in your case, like I see what you're saying with Carson and Jacobs being close, but I think you could flip Jacobs and Michael Thomas for even bigger studs at that point if you could make that move. I'm all about getting that name value right around trade deadline and then putting them right back on the block. The only one of those 3 I'm keeping at their current value is Calvin Ridley, but the other 2 I'd flip for, I think, possibly even bigger value. My thing is you probably get Michael Thomas, and Josh Jacobs would probably land you like an Aaron Jones and a lesser wide receiver. Like I think Jacob, you brought up even Jacoby Myers. And that sets your team really nice over Chris Carson. That's why I make the move.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that 100%. Very well thought out. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this. Jacob, who is your wide receiver after we just talked about Brandon Cooks being Daddy's home FF wide receiver?
Yeah, so it's actually someone that y'all have a little bet over. It's going to be Jalen Reagor. He's currently the wide receiver 41 on ESPN. So this was really just a fun one for me. Like, wide receivers are so tough to predict for being top 12 on a week-to-week basis. Just last week, we had Richie James be the wide receiver 1 in all formats, like literally all formats, after Debo and Ayuk had to sit out. So, there's a couple reasons I do like Reagor to be a top 12 wide receiver. First of all, Wentz is not washed. Yes, he did have a rough game in week 8, but between weeks 3 through 7, he averaged over 20 fantasy points a week and led Fulgham to be a must-add in all formats. Also, the Eagles are facing a favorable matchup with the Giants, who give up the 10th most fantasy points to wide receivers. I can see Fulgham, Reagor, Goddard, and Sanders all working together to open up the field and allow Reagor to go wild. Reagor is a fantastic ceiling play, and I can see his path being a top 12 wide receiver in week 10.
Ooh.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I'm huge on that. I love that pick, actually. And honestly, I hate Reagor. Like, I can't stand him. So for me to sit there and say he could be top 10, top 12 is like, dude, that's impressive. Like, he's my DFS sleeper of the week. Now, Justin Jefferson is my pick. So we've seen time and time again wide receivers explode up against Jalen Johnson. I mean, it's just ridiculous. He's over there playing on the right-hand side. He's a second or third round rookie. He's just let guys go time and time again. Justin Jefferson has been known for burning guys on a regular basis. We just saw what Chicago did, up against Derrick Henry and, shut down that running game. We could see the same exact thing happen this week with Dalvin Cook. I don't think that's likely, but it is very possible. They could work off the play action a whole ton and burn this rookie cornerback. I think Justin Jefferson could end up having a huge week this week. Yeah? No?
I like it. I mean, I love Jefferson to begin with. I'm a big fan. I just with Cousins, primetime scares the hell out of me.
All right, so we had our bet early, right? What was our bet? We had Boyd versus Higgins, and then we had Reagor versus Fulgham. What about if we just take those two, we have them where they're at, and then we have on top of that Higgins versus Justin Jefferson, and that's the tiebreaker.
You mean Cooks? Yeah, let's go with that.
No, not Cooks.
What's
I meant Higgins for a rookie receiver.
I just picked Cook. I just picked Cooks. I think that's.
I know, but I don't want to touch that one.
No,
I like
fun.
Cooks. Cooks is a better pick than Justin Jefferson. Oh man! All right, so let's go ahead and answer a couple more questions.
So let's give you a fun stat for you. Answer a couple questions. Kirk Cousins has thrown 4 touchdowns total on the road and 3 touchdowns every game at home. Not to mention he's playing in prime time. So this is an awful pick, but go with it. I like it. So let's do some questions.
Oh God, man! Now you just made me feel like shit. All right, so
we already covered this
2.
one. It's the healthy guys.
We did this one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry. All right, where am I?
Not sure.
We're right after Adam started talking mess.
Oh, that was the same one.
Yep.
All right, flex Edmonds or Moss?
Moss.
Yeah. Oh man, that's tough.
Unless Drake's out. If Drake's out, Edmonds.
Okay.
I think I still go Moss. It's tough though.
All right, we had a. Let's see. Hold on. We had a really bad. I'm trying to scroll through all these because we have the pickles suck thing.
Oh, I just saw the update. It said I had the Jacobs for A-Rob trade question. When I say solid RB, I have Henry, Sanders, Edmonds, Gibson, and Eckler. Yeah,
dude, that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I take A-Rob.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brandon.
This is a great podcast right here. All right, so Kenyon Drake or Brandon Cooks in the flex?
Brandon Cooks is a man.
Yeah, it's not even a question for me. Oh God, hey, look, love me some Chase. What's up?
He means Edmonds too, right, Gary? Come on now. What's up, Linda?
Oh, Linda. Hey, Linda, are you guys going live tonight? What's up?
She's on her show right now. That was like 45 minutes ago.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's
no, was it?
That was 23 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's 9:06.
Yeah, but you said YouTube was down, so I didn't know if they still have their show going on tonight.
Oh, I don't know.
I think
maybe
YouTube's working now. It looks like because we have this guy from YouTube.
Yeah.
MPX 1606. I just traded Yeah, as soon as I click on it, I just realized that I was saying that. All right, I just traded Brady and Fournette for Nick Chubb. Who do you think won the trade?
I love these questions. I absolutely love these questions because
why? Because it's so obvious.
Yeah, it's a 1 quarterback league. And you won the trade. And what you want to do is you want to tell your friends that 3 dudes on the internet told you how great you were. So, yeah, I'm fucking proud of you. Congratulations.
Oh, man.
Big up, homie.
Fantastic trade.
Michael rub some oil on your shoulders later.
You crushed that.
Not even like, not literally, but I guess theoretically through the pod.
I mean, I'll try if you want. For $25, I'll do just about anything.
The wishbone. Do you want to take a second to plug your OnlyFans account?
My OnlyFans where I throw my butthole for $25 on Thanksgiving. No, I was told we should stop that on iTunes. But anyway, so my OnlyFans account, probably. All right, yeah,
have you heard about his OnlyFans yet?
I haven't. No,
all right,
I have not.
So Jacob, here's the thing. Amazingly enough, I don't make a lot of money doing this fantasy football gig. And so what I did was I polled my followers. Not that I have a ton of them, but I have a good amount to try to make a revenue stream, right? So what I asked them was, what do you follow me for? And overwhelmingly, it was the looks.
Okay.
So what I did was I've committed to Chase on the fantasy football side, which is Fantasy Intervention, the show you're on right now. However, this is my personal property, my face and my body. So what I've done is I've started an OnlyFans. And on Thanksgiving Day, how you get the wishbone where you pull it apart? So I'm going to do that with my ankles for $25 and show people my butthole on the interwebs because what I was told was that is how you make money. I can't say for certain it's going to work because so far I've had 0 subscribers, but I've had some interest.
Go to FF or Daddy's Home FF in order to get to his OnlyFans.
Daddy's Home FF OnlyFans. However, those OnlyFans work, and well, like I said, I showed a little leg. I've showed a little skin, but we're going full Monty online if that'll pay the bills because as much as Daddy. Is
it bleached?
It will be for Thanksgiving, Adam. Trust me, we're not showing anybody any kind of hairy octopus coming out. We are going full-blown skin. It's just going to look like that, only with a hole in the middle.
Guys, if you want to check out more content like this, I left the link down at the bottom. It's lnktr.ee/fantasy intervention. Guys, go check out our YouTube channel, please, and go subscribe. We'll actually have that up and running under our name tomorrow. We'll be taking care of that tonight. Big shout out to C-Dot, who's helped us out with the artwork side of things. But yeah, we will actually have our own YouTube channel with our name attached to it starting tomorrow. So I'm really excited for that. But go check out lnktr.ee/fantasy intervention. And then go check out Mike's OnlyFans page. Well, he will have a bleached butthole doing the wishbone.
That's what I'm told. We have any other questions? You want to do tight ends?
Oh, God. All right. So let's go ahead and do tight ends. Tight ends. You're going to do tight ends right after the wishbone comment?
While we're on the subject.
Yeah. God, now it feels at home. Like it took us a while to get here, but now it feels right. Now it feels right.
So tight ends outside the top 15 are just about as disgusting as my hairy asshole. But we have to pick one because that's the rules. So I'm going to go Robert Tonyan. I was going to take Chase's choice, which I already knew ahead of time what it was. Because I write the show sheet, I'm supposed to get first choice, but I was a gentleman, and I took Tonyan. And the reason for it is because there's nobody else that even looks remotely good. And Tonyan gets the Jags. They give the third most points to opposing tight ends, and I'm hoping to God that Rodgers throws his way more than once. We know the talent's there. It's just the opportunity's not. I hate this part of the job. I hate outside the top 15 tight ends. It's fucking gross.
Come on.
I'm going to go Tonyan.
But this is where you find value, too. Especially
this is
guys
the bread and butter.
So Tonyan against
not
the
this
Jags.
year. Not this year.
This year's been especially rough, but I have a special place in my heart for dynasty tight end finds, and my boy Logan Thomas is still someone I like. I'm not talking about him this week, but, I love me some tight ends. Take that as you
You
will.
need to check out Mike's OnlyFans page.
Maybe I will.
Oh,
we got a
man.
like out of that. My OnlyFans is the only like we got off of Facebook all season, just in case we were wondering. We have never once got a like, and now we got one from my butthole. But go ahead, Jacob. Tell us who your tight end is.
So I'm going to go with Trey Burton, currently tight end 17. I tried to sneak by Jonnu Smith, but they noticed it was tight end 14, so that was a no-go. But anyways, Burton, he's on a team that passes the ball to the tight end, the 12th highest in the NFL. Also has some touchdown potential and a pretty decent matchup with the Titans. We also know that Rivers loves his tight ends, and Rivers has had 3 touchdowns in 2 of his last 3 games. I'd be comfortable starting Burton as a streaming tight end, and I think he can make a top 12 tight end pretty easily. Honestly, all you need is like a touchdown and 20 yards, and you can be a top 12 tight end, so it doesn't seem that hard.
I mean, you
Burton.
did pick their goal line back, which helps, to be quite honest.
That's true. Dual purpose.
Burton was like my biggest DFS guy this week, so I'm going to have him everywhere. Once again, I liked all the options from this matchup, so it's tough for me to sit there and be like, I cannot pick a Thursday night matchup because this might come out on Friday and I might be screwed. So, Jacob, once again, you might be screwed depending on how busy I am tomorrow. But
Okay.
I will end up, or you could be a hero, which isn't actually a hero because it came out after it was already done. By the way, guys, if you're listening to the podcast, this is actually being recorded on Wednesday night. So, I am going to have to go with the guy that's only blocked on 1 passing down so far this season. Meanwhile, he's played something along the lines of, I think, 18 to 20% of his team's passing snaps. And I'm just going to have to take a shot in the dark. I'm going to go Anthony Fursker.
Hold on. I got to redo my whole thing then. Go ahead. Finish yours. I'll do mine.
Who are you going to go with? Are you going to go with Drew Sample?
I was going Gerald Everett.
Oh. Well, then I'll take your guy. I was going to take Tonyan.
Well, shit, then I'll take Everett. Do you want to hear Everett's stats?
Yeah,
Pure anarchy right now.
Everett's stats are fun. 22 targets in his last 3 games. He gets a Seattle defense who can't stop shit in the air. Gerald Everett's going to be my pick. I left him for you because I was trying to be polite, and this is what you do to me. You go and pick somebody else. So now you get Tonyan and I get Everett?
No, I get Tonyan and Fursker.
No, you don't get Tonyan and Fursker. That's not how it fucking works.
Okay, I get Jonnu now. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, now Jacob gets Jonnu. I get Hawkinson. It's just fucking anarchy. The whole rules have gone out the window. Anyway, play Everett over Tonyan.
Oh, God. Dude, I'm relaxed when I'm actually leaning back in my seat. Like, this is fun. Love this, guys.
That's what we do. We got
Thank you all, by the way, for coming into our chat. It's been crazy over there at Fantasy Intervention. Let me just say that real quick. Like, it's been going nuts. I'm trying to learn how to design websites without any experience. I'm listening to these Swedish guys try and talk to me in an accent. It's annoying the hell out of me. I was literally about to throw my computer against the wall the other day trying to learn how to build websites. So these Wednesday nights, guys, are some of my favorite episodes. I appreciate you, Jacob, for coming in and joining us with that. It's been a blast, man. And I look forward to every Wednesday coming up because we have some phenomenal guests. None as great as Jacob, but they're all pretty close.
Appreciate it. I will say real quick in the chat, someone traded pickles for popcorn. How big of an upgrade? It's like trading away Phillip Rivers for Patrick Mahomes. Like that's where we're at right there.
So,
Oh man.
And we have
Love
one more
it.
question about Irv Smith that Teo's girlfriend's been all up in the chat, so I think we should answer all of his questions. He's been outstanding in the chat. Did you catch this one about Irv Smith?
I
go
saw
ahead.
it. Has Irv Smith arrived or was it a fluke? 2 touchdowns, 2 receptions. I'm going to say more of a fluke than arrived. I will say he's looked good certain weeks. He's not startable yet for me because all it takes is, 1-2 receptions and those aren't touchdowns, and then you're screwed. So I'm not going to say he's arrived. He's a perfect dynasty ad for me, or not ad, but buy. I've traded away Schultz for Irv Smith whenever Schultz was on fire, and that I'm ecstatic because of that. And so that's sort of how I look at him. I was expecting a big year from him, and it just doesn't seem like it's going to be happening.
He's so young, though. He's like 21
For
years old.
Dynasty, it's great. I agree. It's more the redraft side that it's just I really thought he'd be a top 12 tight end. And, I mean, we don't even want people who are top 8 tight ends this year. We want Kelsey, and that's it. Like Waller, maybe. Hawk, Fant, a couple of those guys.
You can't leave Hawk out of your mouth. Put that Hawk all in your mouth. Like, just put the Hawk in your mouth.
That's how we do.
Whether only on Mike's OnlyFans,
say
right?
Hawk or, whatever you decide to put in your mouth.
Irv Smith, Dynasty tight end 6, redraft tight end 15 to 20. Not his year.
All
right, guys. Mike, you want to bring us out on this, or you want me to bring it up?
You want me to bring it out? You want me to do a double take on the Thrive here?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. You haven't done a Thrive, so let's do another take on the Thrive. And then, guys, stay tuned for all y'all that have questions lined up, because we are still going to answer your questions. But we had to do an outtake, right? So that way I don't have to edit for 3 hours on every single question that we missed.
All right. So come hashtag prop up on Thrive Fantasy this season. Thrive Fantasy is a daily fantasy sport app for player props. They have eliminated the need to do countless hours of research because they only ask you about their top tier athletes in their respective sports. NFL, you can choose 10 out of the 20 player prop bet options to build your lineup. Use your promo code CIRCLE when you sign up today, and you receive an instant match bonus of up to $50 on your first deposit of $20 or more. So as Chase told you, put in $20, they'll match that 20. Put in 30, you'll have 60, all the way up to do a double take on 50 for 100. Download Thrive Fantasy on the App Store or Play Store, or by visiting their website at www.thrivefantasy.com. Sign up and hashtag prop up today.
That was way better than I could have ever done. Guys, sign up for Thrive. Jacob, sign up for Thrive right now, or else you're never coming on again. I'm just kidding.
I'll get right on it. I'll get right on it.
All right, guys. Thank you all for tuning in, by the way. Appreciate you guys for listening. Jacob, you want to give everybody a shout out, of course, to where they can find you.
Yeah, so Twitter is the place to find me, at jsnake_DFF. You can also find my weekly Dynasty Waiver Wire articles on Dynasty Nerds, as well as my Superflex rankings. Also host of the Snake in the Draft podcast, which Chase came on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was fun. That's what he called Jake Luton.
Super flexible. So that is true. I was talking about it for a couple weeks because I was like, guys, don't sleep on this guy, because you just never know. That's the thing. People think we know.
Beforehand.
We don't know shit. We don't know anything, like, really. And it's sort of depressing, but we don't. Like, who would have thought Gardner Minshew would have been the quarterback going into the season as a top, 18 fantasy option? Nobody. And so it's like, just pick the guys that have opportunity and just roll with it. I get passionate, okay?
Let's do it. Mike?
What?
Where can we find you, bud?
Daddy's Home FF. Y'all know where to fucking find me. Been here all year.
Of course, you guys can check out our content. And of course, join our circle _. Once again, that's join our circle _. And you guys can find me at FF_intervention. Thank you guys for listening. And thank you for letting us interview with your fantasy football life. We're out.
Love you guys.
All right, now we get to answer some questions, guys. You ready? Jake, you good?
Whoa.
We got more?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we? I saw this one.
No. The answer is clearly no.
Yeah. Agreed.
Did we answer that one yet?
Oh, shit.
No.
What is this? There's so
We
many
had
words.
a bunch of them, man, that we're missing.
Choose two. I'm going to go with Swift and quick thought of Judy.
I'm going to go Swift and Landry just because of the opportunity.
No.
Swift. Yeah, Swift and Judy or Swift and DJ Moore for me. I mean, DJ Moore, like they're double covering him on every single play. They have to start coming off him with CMC. Like they can't keep double covering DJ Moore with all those options.
McCaffrey's out though.
Oh, you're right. Shit. You're right. Okay, yeah, I'll go Judy. All right. Let's see. What else did we miss? Did we miss any posts that you guys wanted to hear about real quick that has not gotten answered? If we did, then repost them, please, because we had a ton of comments tonight. I'm just trying to catch up.
So the what's going on question was confusing. I don't know either, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Chase is a stud once again.
Oh, we got one from Jamie from the off season.
Why does that keep? What? What's up?
Jamie just posted one.
Oh, what's up, Jamie?
What's up, Jamie? Biggest hit from the off season. See at the bottom there.
Yeah.
Is that talking redraft? Probably.
Yeah. So we had takes throughout the offseason, right? We all had takes that were going to hit. A big one of mine was saying that Josh Allen was underdrafted way too far. Him going as the 9th overall quarterback was absolutely insane. The rushing upside, along with the upgrade from Stephon Diggs, when your top receiver is John Brown, your second receiver is Duke Williams or Isaiah McKenzie, or Cole Beasley. Like that's like you're going to improve no matter what the case is. Very similar to how Dak Prescott improved once Amari Cooper came to town. So that was one of my takes. Was Josh Allen needs to be drafted closer to Russell Wilson and closer to Watson. So did you guys have an offseason take that really hit close to home?
I'd say Mike Williams is someone I've had as a dynasty buy for quite a bit, and with Herbert coming back in there now, it's looking like he's going to be a potential more boom and bust, but his bust is still a floor of 8 or 10 PPR points. So looks like he's going to be a solid guy for at least a couple years now.
All right, so let me give you a few. In Dynasty at the draft, I traded Melvin Gordon for Antonio Gibson straight up. I got ridiculed by my league mates, and I feel pretty damn good about that one.
Nice.
But two reaching way back. Beginning of the season in August, I gave you Mixon will not be a top 15 running back, and Brandon Cooks will be a top 15 wideout. I love that take. That was way outside of the consensus, but I pounded the table on that. But I want to bring you back to November 24th of 2019. I was asked a question of who is going to be the top at each position in November. And what I gave was, I'll tell you, they're not going to be the top, but I feel pretty good. Top quarterback, Josh Allen. Top running back, Jonathan Taylor. Top wide receiver, Amari Cooper. And top tight end, TJ Hawkinson. And that was in November of 2019. Now, listen, I didn't want to go McCaffrey, Mahomes. You know what I mean? You're asked a question like that, you don't want to go consensus. But I feel like everybody but Amari was way over what the consensus was believing. I mean, friggin' Jonathan Taylor was still scratching his balls in college at the time that I made the call. And now I still think in Dynasty, he's a top 5 to 7 asset right there. So I really like those picks. But the Mixon Cooks one to me was the one that hit probably heaviest because Mixon was being touted as a top 6 guy at the time. And I just didn't see it and still don't.
Yeah, now that's an offensive line.
Yeah, and I had one more I thought about I was very anti-Tyler Higbee. I didn't see it happen, and then he had one blow-up week, and that's it. He hasn't had more than 9 PPR fantasy points except for week 2. It's not pretty, which most of the tight ends aren't, but he was someone that I just was thinking was getting way overdrafted in general.
All right, guys, let's get this one before we think that, these new people coming on think that's how our podcast is. I'll just say, yeah, this is our takes. Let's finish it up with Giants and Dolphins. If we didn't answer your question, please tag me. Make sure that we get that answer, especially on Facebook. So, yeah, tag me in your questions, guys. But, yeah, let's finish it up with Giants or Dolphins DST this week. Mine's going to be pretty easy. I'm going Dolphins.
Same. Go with the hot hand of the Dolphins. They've been elite the last 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, he's so good, man.
Yeah, I mean, with Sanders coming back, as much as I don't like the Philly offense and I do like the Chargers offense, I'm going the Dolphins pretty squarely.
All right, guys, that's going to end this episode. Thanks you all for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. We're going to get out of here.
Later, guys.
Later.